Good morning, everybody, and thanks for joining us on KXAN Live. Will Dupree in the KXAN Live studio as we show you a live look from outside. Very cloudy out there. We have an update on the weather forecast on our website if you'd like to take a look at that. More rain should be anticipated in the next few days, so we'll direct you to KXAN.com for that. But today we want to discuss what is the top trending story on our website right now, and it's this one right here. The headline reads, "Illegal dam on James River torn down while another dam pops up in Mason County." The reporter who brought us this update is Eric Henriksen, and he is joining us now live here in the studio to talk more about it. Eric, thank you so much for doing this and for joining us to talk about this story.
Absolutely. It's great to join you and talk about something a little more serious than my normal fun science stuff. This one's a pretty cool story, I think, and it's interesting seeing what's happening now in Mason County with these dams.
And it follows up on some of our previous reporting. So a lot of people may be familiar with the original story that aired, and that was about this one dam in Mason County there that someone had illegally constructed on a river. And you have an update about that, including that it's being demolished as we speak.
Right. We first received reports on this illegal dam back in September of last year. At the time our crews traveled out there to get a good look at it, and they were able to walk up the riverbed and see this quite large dam. It's 400 feet across. Made of concrete, steel, and all this, and it was holding back all this water from the James River. Now, the James River feeds into the Landowner River, which feeds into the Highland Lakes, which feed Austin's water supply. So this is one of the reasons we were interested in this. It's not a huge river. I mean, it's decent size by Texas standards, I would say. We could walk up it when it was dry, as you can see there. That's the water right after a rain that was flowing over the dam, but not much was reaching downstream. The Texas Parks and Wildlife Department, it was reported to them, and Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, both of them investigated any permits that were filed. They found no permits were filed for this dam, and so they ordered it, Texas Parks and Wildlife Department ordered it be torn down and the river restored to how it was originally. And so what's going on right now is, starting on March 20th, this project was filed. They had till today to completely remove 310 feet from the dam. Part of the reason that this dam was constructed is to connect the property of the landowner on the north and south side of the river. And so now they're building two ramps that will connect that property, but still allow the water to pass through, which is part of that restoration plan that Texas Parks filed and got approved for. And so again, that's supposed to wrap up today, barring weather. We went out last Wednesday to see it, and at the time, it was mostly gone. The water is flowing freely. You could see a large gap in where the dam was. I honestly couldn't see much of a dam remaining. So it probably is done today, but I'm speaking with Texas Parks and Wildlife tomorrow to confirm that it was complete. If it is not done today, they didn't have to file a new progress report to add an extension to that deadline. But that was also barring weather, and it rained this last weekend, so that may have impacted it. But yeah, it should be completed today, and the water is, as I said, last Wednesday was flowing perfectly. I was walking right through that area before we were able to walk up the riverbed to see the dam. This time there was too much water and also rattlesnakes, so I did not walk along some of the paths that were available. We stayed on one of the landowner's property, not the landowner of the dam, but a different landowner who allowed us to see the dam from where we were standing and see the river where it was flowing.
And it's your understanding, too, that this demolition process is all funded by that property owner who built that dam.
Yes, in the filings we got from state agencies, they did not mention any sort of fines, but they did have to pay to have it torn down. So that's the fine, I would guess. If there is one, I'm unaware of it at this time. But we saw that they do have to provide the restoration, is the word we keep using, but the deconstruction of the dam and the construction of these two new ramps to connect the property on each side. One, I believe, is 80 feet, the other is 60 feet. That will go into the riverbed, allowing them to cross. And this is a similar thing that's done on a lot of landowners' properties on that river and creeks across the area. So that's not uncommon. And so they're having to do this and demolish this water prevention and water impoundment device that is the dam.
Very, very interesting update to share, and I know it's caught a lot of people's attention.
Right.
You passed along some other video, and I believe, is this the removal process, what was happening there when you went just last week?
Yeah, we have the video of the removal. Yeah, so this is the dam. A few months ago, we had a guy fly over it and was able to see it. As you can see, there is the dam now, or there was the dam back in September, water flowing over it. We were able to get up close to it at that point and get some good video of it and see it. Like I said, you could walk right up the river. There was no water flowing, so it was easy to walk up. And then now that's just a little bit of water that's crossing over, but now it's gone. We were watching deconstruction occur in probably like 2 hours or so. We were sitting there. As you can see, they're removing large chunks of the dam. There was steel and concrete, both used in the dam construction. See, the water is flowing just fine. They're dumping a lot, tons and tons of concrete has to be pulled out of there. And yeah, it was a pretty big operation they seem to be having there. They had to build a road to get those trucks out to that area, and they were able to do so. And there you go, water. Water's working again. The river is flowing again right to the Llano.
A very different scene than when we found it just last year.
Right.
And have you spoken to some of the neighboring landowners? Because I believe they're the ones that initially raised this story to us.
That's right. Several landowners brought this story to our attention, what was happening down there. We spoke to one of those landowners, Susan Keeling, about how she felt and just kind of her experiences with that dam and why she was fighting its construction and it's staying there for so long. And I believe you have a soundbite from her.
Yeah, let's take a listen.
If they build these dams secretly, like this one was done, 24 hours a day construction all night long with big construction lights, and if nobody knew about it or saw those cement trucks, you wouldn't even know it's there.
And what she's worried about actually turned out to be true. Further away, 10 miles away at Leon Creek in Mason County, another dam, another illegal dam that was built without permits, these specifically for the removal of sand and gravel from an area. They didn't have a permit for this. They built another dam along Leon Creek. This one's a much smaller dam and much smaller property. It's in a part of the hill country we couldn't physically reach. The landowners took photos of this dam for us and gave us information. But yeah, there's another dam popped up, and I actually have heard several reports from other landowners about other dams that we're looking into to see if they have violated any laws or were built without permits specifically. But yeah, another dam popped up. We spoke to a landowner who lives downstream on Leon Creek about her concerns about that. And she said that basically same story. They came out to the creek one day that were trying to feed their livestock, and they noticed there's no water flowing. And then another landowner further upstream told them, hey, there's a dam here that just got built, and none of them knew about it. And it was kind of a surprise. She had received no notification, no messages from other landowners in the area that they were building a dam. So the first time she discovered it was when the water stopped flowing to her area.
Wow.
She has since said that water has started to flow a little bit. She's not sure why. Hasn't been able to go upstream, but it's still not what would typically be flowing at this time of year. And considering we've had recent rain, you would expect to see something then, but she hasn't seen that. So there is some water flowing, but not what she expects. And Texas Commission on Environmental Quality and Texas Parks and Wildlife are looking into that dam as well.
Yeah, that was my next question was, is there any kind of investigation into that dam?
Yes, ongoing investigation specifically around the removal of sand and shell and some different materials that Texas Parks and Wildlife oversees. They're looking into that removal process. So again, we were not able to physically go up there, and I was told it was like a 5-hour walk if we were able to walk up. So it's that that sort of remoteness we're talking about up on this creek just to reach it. So they're investigating that. Texas Commission on Environmental Quality told me they are investigating, but it's ongoing and they didn't want to reveal any details at this time.
Yeah, so where does your reporting go from here? I understand you're going to be speaking with some state officials within the next day or so.
Yeah, we're going to speak to both of those state agencies, and I'm hoping to speak to a hydrologist to give us a better perspective on these dams and how they're built. I'm really curious. This is kind of where I'm pursuing next. I want to know what the process is to investigate these, what sort of trends we're seeing. Are we seeing more of these dams? And I've heard in past reporting we've found that people have reported to us that they are seeing more of these dams pop up, both legal and illegal. So I'm curious what happens next, especially as the state is slowly edging towards a water crisis. It's already happening in the Panhandle and a lot of West Texas. And there's a lot of concern that with the continued development and people moving to our area and just the general population growth that Central Texas and the Hill Country could face a water crisis in the near future. And we may be approaching a tipping point was one phrase I heard from an expert with the Hill Country Alliance last year. And so they said, we're approaching this tipping point, so we have to really watch ourselves when it comes to how we're using our water and how we're protecting our water and where the water is flowing. As everyone knows, Lake Travis has not been full in months, if not more than a year.
Quite some time,
I can't remember when it was full last. It's been a long time. And that's our main water source here in Austin. So if that continues to drop, we're not going to have access to that water. And so protecting water and how it flows into that lake is very important for everybody in our viewing area.
The reporting only continues from here. We appreciate you all checking out the story on our website right now. As I mentioned at the very beginning of our live stream, it's the #1 trending story. It's caught a lot of people's attention. And I think we should just underscore yet again that this story only came to our attention because some of our viewers out there let us know about it and we began to look into it. I think that's Eric, maybe that's a point to underscore is that if someone has an idea, someone has a tip they think that we should look into, please let us know.
Absolutely, yeah. We've had a few people already reach out separately since this story's been posted about other things that are occurring. And we're very curious on what sort of violations or issues you're seeing involving water. So let us know. Report it at kxan.com. That's the email. You can also go to our website and send us messages through there. We do get those. We do pick ones out that are interesting and we're sharing with everyone and show a bigger picture that's happening in our area, which I think is very important.
Yeah, we check out all those tips that ever come into our inbox, and they get flooded pretty quickly, but
Yes.
we will let you know that we are carefully watching that, so we'll look into stories that come our way. But you can read Eric Henrikson's latest story on our website, kxan.com. There's the headline. It, again, is trending on our website right now, so please read that whenever you have a chance. Eric, thank you again for joining us and for your reporting. We appreciate it.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for having me. This has been great.
All right, everybody, that is Eric Henriksen. I'm Will Dupree. We will see you back here with other updates throughout the day, so please stay with us. Take care.